HRBC show called Let's Talk. So today we are talking to the Honorable Sheriff David Miles in Suffolk. Welcome, Sheriff.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And would you like to tell us a little about yourself?
Absolutely. Again, my name is David Miles. I have the pleasure of serving as the sheriff for the city of Suffolk. I have 19 years of service, split half between 9.5 years in Virginia Beach Sheriff's Office, and I've been here in Suffolk for going on 10 years. And I have been an executive with this agency since 2019. And since last July, I've served as a sheriff, and I'm looking forward to continuing to do so.
Okay, now, so we have a few questions. Are you ready?
Absolutely.
All right. Now, since you have been doing this for quite some time, can you tell us what exactly does the Sheriff of Suffolk do? Because we normally get it confused with the roles, between sheriff and police. So can you clarify that for us?
Well, just like the police, we are a law enforcement agency. But once a locality forms a police department, the police chief becomes a chief law enforcement officer, and the police department becomes a primary agency. And I am a city sheriff, and normally the city sheriff will be responsible for the jail, but I am not because we're served by a regional jail. So I am responsible for securing the courthouse and the service of civil process. And with the courthouse, it's not just standing in courtrooms or doing searches at the front lobby. We're also responsible for transports and ensuring those that are here during pretrial confinement are able to have their hearings safely. So we are a small agency, but we have a very large responsibility. It is our job to make sure that the criminal justice system can be, people can get through the system safely, both those from the public as well as those that are in custody of juveniles and adults. So where the police department may be where a lot of the processes begin, what they initiate, we continue until those matters have found their conclusion in the court system.
Okay. All right. Now, how do you incorporate community service in your role as sheriff?
So it's twofold. I not only do a lot of community service myself, we also do a lot of community service through the sheriff's office. For me, even before I was the sheriff, even as a sergeant and then the chief deputy, I joined organizations in the city as a means of giving back and participating and being a part of the solutions in the community. I'm on several boards for the Suffolk Education Foundation, our Suffolk Humane Society, the Suffolk Foundation, Suffolk Rotary Club, Suffolk Christian Fellowship Center, the Humane Society, the Crime Line, and also the Salvation Army's advisory board. And I realized that it is important to lead, not just in this agency, but also be a part of solutions outside. With the office, we have several community engagement programs that we present throughout the year, both that are public safety oriented and also those that are service minded. When I say service minded, I mean like our food drives, our school supply drives, which we've done recently, also our toy drive right before Christmas. And we partner with other community organizations that's trying to meet the needs of the community, even outside of the courthouse and doing civil process. So I'm very active, as well as the office is very active. We don't just stay at the courthouse. We are out there on the front lines trying to make the city better.
Awesome. Okay. Now, how do you prepare people held in your facilities to re-enter society, especially the youth?
Okay, so it's twofold because the jail employs a re-entry specialist, and it's important for us to continue to have relationships around the community so we can feed resources to him to try to help those that get out have to be able to stand on their own 2 feet when they get out from when they're released from incarceration. Listening with juveniles, we partner with the court service unit. And we also present programs. We have some new programs coming down the line trying to help reduce some of our juvenile crime so that we can have fewer juveniles in the system. So we are kind of in the middle of all those exchanges and trying to make sure that there's resources available that we present, is also trying to create partnerships so that we can strengthen those who have made a mistake so they can stand on their own 2 feet when they get released.
Okay. So what are some of your programs? I heard you mention programs. What are some of them, and what are some that benefit the city?
Well, I would like to thank all of them benefit the city. So as I mentioned, in addition to the community engagement, we do there are twofold, some public safety and some for resources, but we do programs for firearm safety. We do programs for our senior safety. Coming up here in short order, we have our senior expo, and we just gave out tickets for it today. This year, we gave away 300 tickets to seniors here in the city. And we're going to, next month on September 20th, we're going to have those 300 seniors come into that event. We have 50 vendors there with services specific to our senior community. We're going to feed them a catered lunch, and we have a speaker that's going to speak on Medicaid fraud so that it's informative, and it's also giving them community resources, some education, a hot lunch, and then we have partnered with 2 ministries that are going to have some resources for them to take home. So if they need resources in their homes. We also have a child ID program that we do for parents, so we record the child's fingerprints and take a photo of them, and we give that to the parents. So should the child, heaven forbid, become missing, then the parents have resources to give law enforcement to help locate the child. So
well, hold on, y'all. We have lost him.
okay. So we have several programs that we present, but also we have some new ones coming down the pipe that we're trying to go live with here in the very near future. Hello? I can now.
Hello,
yes,
can you? Oh, okay.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
I'm not sure what happened, but we was like going in and out. So I know you were talking about the seniors program, but what was the program after that you were discussing?
We did the child. Did you hear about the child ID?
Yes, you were saying you take pictures and fingerprints, and forbid that anything should happen. Y'all
and
have
we also, you might have lost when I talked about the VIN action we do in partnership with the Virginia State Police. It's a program to help reduce auto theft. Also, we do safety presentations for scams, for personal safety, and also a women's self-defense class that we teach. So everything that we present in the community is free of charge.
Oh, all right. So how does one go about signing up for some of those, like the etching and the self-defense course?
So for the VIN etching, we normally get 1 or 2 dates a year, and we will blast it out through our social media networks and also our emails so that the citizens know when and where we're going to be presenting it. They just drive up, get the service, again, free of charge. And then for the other classes, they call and they speak to our community engagement coordinator. And normally we're invited out to present those classes. So citizens will have their own people there. They'll present the venue, and then we'll come in and we'll teach the classes.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. All right. So now, what are your thoughts on preventing gun violence?
Gun violence is a big one. And so the role that we play in that, we play a role for youth as we also play a role for responsible gun owners. We give away free gun locks. It's called a safety kit, but a lot of tragedies happen because firearms are left unsecured. So we give away free gun locks so that good firearm owners are able to secure their weapons. We also teach the Eddie Eagle program, and that program is catered towards elementary school age children. Now, children aren't responsible for gun safety, but if we don't tell them what to do or something, if they come across an unsecured firearm, then we leave more room for a tragedy to happen. So it is a preventative class that teaches kids to don't touch it, run away, and tell an adult. So hopefully they won't pick up that gun and a tragedy could happen.
Yeah. Whew. We've been seeing a lot of that in the news, so hopefully we won't see too much more in the future.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So what 3 things would you like to accomplish if elected?
I'm supposed to keep it at 3. Okay. Well,
it's so bad. 3 if you got more, but what's your top? Go in order.
So when I'm reelected, it has been my goal, even when I was chief deputy, to try to modernize our agency, and that's to improve some of the equipment we have. So as chief deputy, I finally got us our own body armor. Another thing I'm working on is getting body cameras. I'm working on getting some other less lethal options, especially for the correctional environment, because we do deal with incarcerated individuals. I'm working on trying to do more cross training with our police department. And that includes having some of our deputies dual certified, those who come from the correctional environment, also having the same certification as a police officer would have, so that we can be able to have, because some of our deputies come from a correctional background, and some of our deputies have come from police departments, including the state police. So we have a wealth of different experiences, and just trying to make sure that we get more of our deputies dual certified. And also here in the near future, we're going to be presenting a new youth program called Juvenile Justice Jeopardy. It's game-based, but it is a way of teaching young people not only how to interact with law enforcement, but also some of the consequences of some of the crimes that have been committed. So we're hoping we're presenting that program in partnership with some of our community partners to be able to help reduce some of the juvenile crime, so that these kids can get on to productive adult lives without having a criminal record.
That sounds good. All right. So we have a question. They want to know, do you provide school resource officers?
Okay.
And how are they trained to
Okay.
become these resource officers?
So last year, our elementary schools were looking to have a school resource officer in every school. And I presented to the city leadership the cost for the sheriff's office to be able to help with that. And they chose to continue to use the police department. So what I was already doing before that discussion happened is I had our civil process deputies checking every elementary school at least once a day. So as these deputies are out and about in the city, every elementary school had a deputy to stop by. Though I don't have the extra staff to send them there all day, we were doing spot checks at the schools, and that was interaction with students, interactions with administrators, as well as making sure the perimeters of the school were secure. And the feedback we got was very positive, because they appreciated our presence. Though the police department right now, I think they're adding 4 positions, and they are offering to have off-duty officers at the other schools that they don't have full-time officers at. I'm still working with the city, seeing if we can get the resources to help participate with that. But of course, that's all dependent on funding. And you asked about training. So we have deputies. So some of our deputies came to us from the police department, and they were SROs prior to leaving the police department. So we do have deputies that already have the certification to be able to go back and be school resource officers if we are called upon to do that. And you have to have the law enforcement certification, and I think it's like a 40-hour school they send them to be school resource officers. So I presented the cost of all that to the city, but they again chose to go with the police department.
Okay. So, okay. Somebody wants to know if you are hiring and how much is the starting pay.
So for our agency, we only hire certified people. And certified, I say deputies because they're deputies when they come here, but they, like I said, they've come from state police, they've come from our city police department, they've come from regional, they've come from regional jails. There's also come from other sheriff's offices, and everyone here, they have a minimum of 3 or 4 years experience already. So we don't start paying anybody at the bottom of the spectrum. We're already compensating them for their experience, and their pay is based off their experience, but no one starts at the bottom rung.
Okay. All right. So those are all the questions that I have. Is there anything else you would like to tell the people?
No. So another thing that we have going on here in the near future is our Human Trafficking Awareness Forum. It's going to be on September 4th at 6:30 p.m. at Union Baptist Missionary Church on Nasman Parkway. We're partnering not only with our city police department and our Commonwealth Attorney's Office, we're also partnering with 2 local nonprofits that work in human trafficking, and they're going to be presenting information about not only what's going on in Suffolk, but also some parental safeguards that can be put in place so that we can help reduce the amount of human trafficking that is going on here in the city. So I believe that If the citizens are safer, then the city is safer. And certainly we are trying to do everything we can to get good safety information out there into our community.
Okay. So I also want to let people know that you are one of our honorees for the Hampton Roads Black Caucus Breakfast of Champions. You're one of those champions, and we're going to be celebrating you this Saturday at 8:30. So, and if people are wondering why are we celebrating you, they should just look at this podcast and they'll see. You are really great.
Well,
representation for Suffolk.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you taking time with us and doing this podcast. And those are all the questions I have. So I would like to thank everybody who watched and who are going to watch. And if you have a question, just put it in the comments and I'm sure the sheriff will. If it's not a crazy question, you know how I feel about those. He will answer them for you. But other than that, I hope everyone has a great day. Bye.
Thank you.